Good evening, folks. It's 2108 on the 15th day, 12th month, 2022. Now I'm watching a lot of actually small flare action going on in the sun today, kicking off. Let's watch this as it goes by. See some big crust flashes. Pew, pew. Yeah, that interferes with the imaging chip, and that means that some energy came our way in the form of a big photonic blast. Yes, not always that good for us in itself. Sun images actually today are quite interesting. Some really long reaching tendrils as far as the magnetics go. When I was looking at some of the activity, like if I come here to, if I show you some of the lines, some of these are reaching vast areas over to around the corner of the sun. This one's going all the way to here and here. This one here is fairly well locked on itself. I'm not too worried about a big flare coming from it. Some of these tendrils are rather long. This area was very active today on the other side as it kicked around the limit of sun over the last 48 hours here. I'll give you a show. I'll show you. Just had this running a minute ago. Very active. Just look at this region up here. It's loading now. A lot of tendrils kicking off up here. And it gave a big blast, and you'll watch this coronal hole area, this cooler area of the sun. You'll actually see a change in ripple. Some of these strands are planetary size. Look at how active this one is down here. Bzzz, very electrical. And looking into this center vortex on this one is very dramatic. And this one has been extremely active. So there must be something orbiting the sun on the other side. It's giving it some pull. Or this is about to join. This heavy fight. This one here, as it comes faceward toward us, our electrolink with the sun becomes more dominant to it and up here. So you'll see them actually flare up. But they'll become a bit balanced. It's actually rotating a bit. Like to see this like almost like a tornado here. One kicked off and then the magnetism rejoins. See them loops coming in on the sides? And like I said, they're going vast distances. And you'll see a cooler area form here in the plasma. Like a dancing sideways tornado. It's fantastic how the magnetism is holding that in place, or what we call magnetism, whatever that exact force is. Still needs, it's almost a shamrock. And still needs further investigation and full explaining. Looks like we had a little glitch go across the imagery here, so I'm going to investigate that. It's a couple of them actually. Let's see if this something's been hidden. Could just be the image coming in. Let's give benefit of the doubt that they're still piecing together. Is this a rather in-depth graphic? Then I want to go into get a snowstorm about to impact the upper U.S. East Coast. Yeah, but that's definitely not a glitch. I'm gonna catch it. What's going on there? I need to know. Whenever I see a piece of data missing, I like to know things. Because I full well know there's experiments that are being done with the sun. That was a big kickoff. It's also possible the imagery chip has been interfered with because of a flare. And so I need to see this. I'm not seeing it. Oh God. It's dramatic, isn't it? Well, I don't want to read nefarious into anything. That was about there. And welcome to my life. There's a very quadranted thing. Benefit of the doubt. And a big eruption. Some strands must be snapping. Like this one here. See how it dances? Go backwards. Bzzzt. That's a fucking heavy amount of energy going by there. It's some Rolling Stones lips. Clam opening. The opening clam. Nah, not seeing it on this. That's a good sign, because I don't like to think there's nefariousness going on. See how that looks sideways? There's a piece in the center dancing like a tornado, and this is just tendrils jumping back and forth around the corner of the sun. Sorry, Gina. Ain't no ship refueling. Not saying it ain't possible, just saying that ain't it. That's a dancing magnetism of a different temperature. Dancing sideways, caught in a magnetic loop. That'll come around toward the front side of the sun over the next 48 hours. Probably be over here on 48 hours. That's just how rotation works and the sun. Just going to give it one last look, and then I'm going to show you what's going on with the other part of our weather, because this is important to know. Yeah, there was a little glitchy stain there, and I haven't gotten to see yet, but I'm not going to get tempted to show that again. And hello, everybody watching the world with me. Right, this storm's going to be a bit fierce. The winds are packing a wallop here up and toward Canada already right now, as it goes up through Wisconsin. Hello, Wisconsin! It's got all that cheese, so it has its nose facing this way to get some fresh air. Yeah, hello, Minnesota. It's the folks up there. Silicon Prairie, where the valley moved. Oh, what did he just say? Right, as the storm's gonna hit New York City during the day today. Right when you're trying to go to work. The main part of this storm is scheduled to stay offshore, thank goodness. But the snows will be coming into the upper part of the U.S. as the day marches in. I'm going to turn off some of those pressures here. I don't want to get into bubble ups or any of that kind of stuff. But I'll show you some of the wind. Classic nor'easter, okay? Where the wind's coming into a hook around Long Island here. Yeah? It does it a lot because I grew up down where this middle finger is. So I'm pretty familiar with the weather patterns of what happens when these storms come through. You're getting lucky. The snow's not starting for you yet. But I believe you'll be having a white Christmas in this area here of the United States this year. Yes. Book your Central Park sled ride now with the horses drawing you, and you'll have one of those special memories forever. Bring some warm clothing though. So I'm going to let this roll a minute because this is important. Your weekend travel is going to be nothing short of treacherous up through the Green Mountains and up through to upper New York, the Catskills. But the skiing will be good when you poke your nose in the Poconos. The Poconos. You can really go up there and have a bath in something that looks like a champagne glass in the Poconos. It was known as one of those what do you with the honeymoon places? What do they think happens on a honeymoon? Debauchery. It's just like Clyde in Every Which Way But Loose hanging off the ceiling going on. At my age, you'd be looking to be, hey, here we go. Shall we go to sleep yet? Yeah, about that boring, ain't I? Hey, Portland, how you doing there when the low is directly off your coast and it's... God, that's going to be some cold air coming in across through Canada. As the day marches on into Sunday. Maine. Banger, the heat of the airport probably holding it off. We'll be looking for a big glitchy stain that day from your airport. And we'll look for the glitches coming from Boston to shove that north. Oh, I said I wasn't going to go into that part of it. Robert, zoom back. What's happening to Canada? Here's what's happening to Canada. Not only will I zoom back, I'll show back. Okay? Way back. Boy, are you guys going to get it. This time I'm going to leave the U.S. out of it. Alright, you get your own. You guys are good supporters of mine, too. I know it's hard to cover the whole world. And, well, Australia got a few hours. Hey, I'll go ahead and do you now. I'm gonna do you now, man. As the store roars across Canada, it's gonna be, as we say, man, it's gonna be fucking cold. You're gonna need your hat and your gloves badly. You guys know cold. Hey, just watch yourselves on them roads. Get a lot of tricky winds out here. Gonna be going through these passes. Yep, and around the Great Lakes, she'll be roaring across. In Toronto, man, it's a bit of a mellow point. You got a convergent point, so you can expect some snows about where my gig finger is right there. Where where you're giving the gig. And as we go through the mitten in the Upper Peninsula, Thunder Bay and all that, you're going to expect the roaring storms and all the creaky ices blowing ashore and all that fun stuff. Hey, Winnipeg. Oh, sharpen your skates. It's going to be a good night for hot chocolate and going down to the local rink. And it's going to last for days. Days. Heavy snows. Heavy snows. Your total's over the fives, and I'll give you just the fives. That's just, you look at 17 centimeters, 20 centimeters, which is about a foot and a half. Right. I'm going to use some Fahrenheit for the USA. Numnatios. The numnatios. Yeah, there's 8 inches of snow over the next 5. Most of that's coming over the next 48 hours. Right, so, and then you got to contend with the blowing snow drifts and all that go with it over here at Winnipeg and Brandon. Ain't it so good for Brandon that day, huh? And on your 10s, man, some of your places are getting absolutely buried, like New York. I already said Utica was looking really bad. It's looking really bad. Hey, Buffalo, you'll be bearing a brunt of this they ain't even telling you about yet. On your 5's not good. On your 3's not good. On your 24's, man, you still got time to shovel the first load. No shit. Is New England's going to get buried? And Pennsylvania, I don't blame you if you just say, oh, fuck it, man. I'm in for the winter. I'm going to go ahead and get some of that good old Pennsylvania bear and pretzels and smorgasbording on up. Get fat like a bear. Scranton, Washington's Crescent. Yeah, that's where it happened, man. Where you'll be floating down the Delaware and chewing on your underwear and you can't afford another pair. Yeah, man, down here in that. Right at, where's Washington's Crescent? Was, see if we can find it. Trenton. There it is, man. They crusted where you crust the underwear and you go on up and then they went to Pennsylvania, man, and then they stopped and they ate. Yeah, man, it was strategic, isn't it? What was New Jersey good for that? There's Princeton, though, one of the death universities, one of the poison Ivy League colleges. Now, not all the bad comes out of those places, but, being born in Yale, I will have some jokes. Hey, Yankees, how you doing? You want to talk about a place that it's okay to blink while you're there because you ain't missing nothing. Know how? When you go through there in the train, you'll see high raises. You'll see what stack and pack has happened. And the result thereof. Where the inner city neighborhood strife. You know how to pronounce that one, don't you? Think West Point. Poughkeepsie. Really, I can pronounce Poughkeepsie, but not Kumkak. Hey, Hartford. You're one of the first places to get public telephone in the United States. And this is where Harriet Beecher Stowe's house was. And Mark Twain lived here. This is my stomping grounds, man. I rode a moped all over here. Uh-huh. Yep. I've been to places I shouldn't have been when I should have been somewhere else. Why? Because you gotta live, man. And over the 5s, you're dodging a bullet, Connecticut, but you're right on the line. And one little movement of this low and you're in it. So I don't think you've dodged a bullet yet. Oh, Connecticutites. Boom! Have it. All the way through. Maine's going to live up to its wintry names. Uh-huh. Bangor. Oh, Bangor in Maine, man. You guys are going to get it. Look at the totals going across, you guys. Labrador City, man. This, I call that wee Labrador, man. Did the dog eat your stash over here, Toll? Because, man, you got to have some snow up here. It's going to be cold. 2.5 inches? Hey, that ain't nothing. People shrivel more than that out in the cold. But 20 inches, yeah, you're talking. That'll go up a bit on your car. Or your truck. Or your guzzler. It'll get stuck out somewhere. How do those battery operated things act out in the cold anyhow? I know how my battery in my car used to work. Not at all. There's a whole other factor when the ice gets in them and splits the cases and the water gets it. Boy, are you guys going to put some fire starters in your car. Going to use Prodigy as the theme song from Tesla. Do 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 do. Little fire starter. Sorry, the electrical grid could hardly keep up with heating our houses this winter. I think it's a bad idea to have to shut our stuff off at the night when we're cold. Right? Not at work, where they make us not have heat because we're cold. Nah, this whole new snow of it all. Welcome to winter time, North America. And it is winter. And as I look toward here, it's nice not to see new snows. However, the rain accumulation totals over the next 10 days is nothing less than absolute fuckery. 100% pure tea, high there, right here through the Alice control panel. And she'll decide north and south. I'm voting for the corridor. So they'll split it here and send some here and send some here. And that's going to go higher as we head toward Christmas. Jingle bells, your weather smells. The spears like rotten eggs. Hey, Tennant Creek, how you doing? Have some more. Have it, have it, have it. Fill the creek, fill the creek. You bastards. Look what they're doing to the Darwin area. We're talking nearly a third of a meter of rain for some areas. Nearly a third. I'll call it a quarter. But if I went out to this little island out here, I would see nearly 3/4 of a meter of rain sitting here ready to be manipulated, ready to be squeezed, sent. And it's not very far away on geoengineering terms. I can have that water there in 8 hours. Yep, one pulse away from total inundation, poster child, Christmas Day, oh my God, these poor folk kind of situation. So we're going to be doing what? Watching this very closely and being diligent, right? Because it's very important that we know these weather plans that have gone on. And some of this rain's already fallen in some of these areas. How's your ball go doing? Huh? Fitzroy Crescent, you've been in the crest years and I. So you add up these paths of destruction, planned destruction, and it's heading up to an inundation path of here to here with an addition of here and a straight line from here down. Down, 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 down a straight line area. Toward ports, known depots, known, what would you say, suggested super duper hub smart cities. And at some point I'll go through the Oxford plan, as I'm starting to call it. Well, you guys call it lockdowns in your cities, but it's far from that. It's the setting up of the small cell cities that go into the bigger one, to the bigger one, to the bigger one. And where they talk about your 15-minute walk for most. You know what? Since when is it for most? You know who gets the easy walk to work? Cushy guy. Or the one who picked their stacking pack in advance. If you're smart enough to see an agenda, you're smart enough to dodge the bullet. Look at the straight line you're planning. A straight freaking lane. Along a river. A drainage area. Where things flow. Nice to see 68 degrees. Is this at night? When is that happening? Right now. It's awful fucking cold for summer. For Queensland. That's like England's hottest day summertime kind of temperature. It's unusual. To me. I'd be seeing like 90, 100 Fahrenheit up there. And I'm in Fahrenheit. Oh no, what did he do? Okay, let's switch back to the rest of the world. Celsius you. Make everything based on 10, so you no longer got a dozen or something, you got 10. And he acted like it was a favor giving you the 6th one on a 5-pack. Seen that on donuts at the store the other day. I say, hey, look, that's still a half a dozen. We do base 12 in our head. Hey, as we proceed with our day today, looking about 24 hours now, the big storm's going across the lake over there just south of Balgo. And Kananura, looks like the wind's coming in off the ocean. Should be some pretty decent surfing for you. We get a reaching storm that's going to die. How it's even participating to go north above them winds is astounding me. So that's we're going to have a huge chem bomb attack Sunday night when you go to bed to fuel a lightning storm. That's what that's telling me. All the flows are all wrong for that to even be marching north. That sucker should have headed south. But, geoengineering's got a mind of its oppressors. I mean, of its own. And as we go into 48 hours, then they begin to hit South Australia, kind of heard. See what the plan is? Summertime, summertime, summertime. So this is going to take a lot of individual days of watching and looking at the individual cells. And above all, we got to watch where they're bombing. Because the chem bombs are going to determine the fast localized supercells that'll pop up. All the conditions are there and ripe. Let's say like this cloud march in that direction meets one march in this direction. The chem that's sitting really far apart collides with itself, right? Other particles, and become bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can hem this whole storm up as you run it next to it. If this goes under that and that goes over the top or vice versa, it'll generate an electrical potential and strip ions that can induce lightning and various other electrical phenomenons like a tornado. And tornado is really an electrical phenomena. And the wind is a side effect. I'm pointing at some bombs going off here. You see him? See him bombing you here? Near Wyndham. I found my pop filter. I'm going to give my other mic a try. But this sounds like it's doing okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. I do a quick switch over there. Nothing's getting through here. Yeah, shit through there. I'm surprised that you don't hear bzz, 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 the bugs being fried in the actual air itself over there. There's so many microwaves being frying off out there. Yeah, it is. I'm actually surprised at times that this is the biggest bug zapper in the world. Look, full beam here. Right, it's full line. Circle beam there, half circle here with a boost over there, right? Creating corridors and flow. That's going to actually go out quite a distance and add energy to a storm. That if the map continued to be about out here, it's fueling a line, it's creating a division and flow. This one's got a square and a circle. Well, we got so many stations out here active. It is a crime scene. Look at that. Would you look at the guilt of that? That's geoengineering, full line. Like I said, man, it's the biggest bug zapper in the world. It's the eye. Woo! If you fear a symbol more than the action the symbol is being used for, you're not keeping your eye on the prize. The prize is your mind. Something's beaming here. Right, I've gone too far away. Boop. Boop. Chem bombs suck. They really do. So we do got a big, huge active corridor of beam matrixing going on. Alright, let's see if we can pick up anything on the low deck from the Big Daddy. Because it's going to be active. The pulsator. Yeah, it is. It's boiling. Alright, you got a pulse coming down from the tropics, and one going up toward it, and one going this way. Alice, you guilty, guilty, guilty girl. So that's going to cause a pinch point about here. It's vaporizing clouds now. Then that'll suddenly cool off, so you could get a corridor of storms that begin to march across Queensland because of that. This one's pushed this way. Pulse is sideways. See it coming that direction? It's left this corridor open here. So and there's one that's coming this direction, but that's the cutoff. So you've got a distinct corridor for storms here. But the most likely flare-ups will be here. So let's have a look at the weather plan. Well, then I look like a Frankenstein for a minute there. Hi, woo! Jack Sparrow. My gosh, that was Boogeyman. Let's have a look at this. This is Kembam here. That was interesting, huh? What happened? Oh, the skeleton. Woo! That's Kembam. Going on off the coast of Cairns. They got a Kembam the can, man. I could not fucking resist. Whoa. Boom, wall. Boom, wall. Boom, 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 and a boom, a boom, a boom, boom, and a bomb, and a bomb, a bomb, a bomb, bomb, and you're coughing up the air that you should breathe. It should be clean. It should be toxin-free. And it should smell sweet. It shouldn't smell rotten and like death. Boom, boom, boom! Go to plumes. And away went this sunny day in a big chemtrail going across Hingham over there. Hey, have no sunshine 'cause they've gone. And boom, your sky blue clear away. Boo, boo, boo. There ain't no sunshine where they've gone. The toxic flyers, they want your homes, land grabbing it away. Boo, boo, boo. Wondering if this policy could go away. It must. We gotta remember always the deep blue skies. And always the answer is we. We gotta do this together. The answer is you. Look in the mirror. You are the solution. And together, we get this. Don't think you don't. If you can't look in the mirror and say, I am my own hopium. I don't need a drug. I don't need a television to add validity to my existence. I will go out today and effect change of a positive nature. And meanwhile, these boom boom plumes pluming up over here about to fuel some storms that are going to impact the lives of people here in Western Australia as they got their sights set on Darwin clearly over the next 10 days for a total inundation flooding event, which I showed you. There's also a lot of moisture floating over here. Yep. And you was looking at 1/4 of a meter in this Darwin area over the next 10 days. I don't see how it's not going to rain on this coast for Christmas. But you ready for this? There's a possibility that if this storm's too high, if this pinches over just right, and they hit a beam here just right, you'll get a sunny day on Christmas Day. If it does not, you do not. And as the look of the setup is going, and this is trucking along, this can get caught up and in this fairly easily and come straight on in. So the glitches are going to be decide whether the glitches are going to turn into Grinches or not. This is all up to the weather plane and our oppressors. But you know, they've got jet planes and they got fresh powder up in Switzerland now. The Alps are ready to ski. And as I look around my world, in the whole combination of it all, from one end to the other, I shake my head one time and go, my God, look what one species can do in the name of selfishness. This storm off the coast here is geoengineered. See the typical deployments. As I look down coast toward Florida, the Bahamas are getting sprayed, and this is the setup. That's the 14th, and this is today. Total shit smear whiteout. There's nothing to be seen here. except the gut. As I look into the center of a quote circulation, I just go, this turning squarely massive object out here. You see this square here that could turn and bump that square there, that could turn and bump that square there. Squares bumping squares, making things turn. Bumpity 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 bump, said the trash can man, and look what they've done to my ocean. This is what they say a circular circulation storm is. And the only thing circular for the radar to see is a line of chem bombs here in the center of this storm, being fueled by man, that's headed toward England and France. And I look toward here, and all I see is smashed out, polluted, microwaved up, man-made skies that are going to drive up the heating bills of the people of the United States at a time they're told to conserve, that they're going to make people have breathing troubles in California from the geoengineering smashed stuff covering my humpback whales off this coast. At this chemtrail that is not dissipated in the amount of time it took it to get that wide, while other ones came along in the same path that did the same thing. Well, they bomb you with chem bombs here, and they load you up with sand from these deserts here. They got some sand being worked up now in the Gobi Desert out here. Totally smashed off the coast of Sicily. Na-na-na-na-na-na. They've just made the Godfather an offer he couldn't refuse. Greed is bad. Greed does terrible things to the planet. In the name of its own wallet, in the name of its own holiday, in the name of its own bank balance. And meanwhile, nature goes out of balance because of that greed. And the scales are tipped with gold. And something called the science has no integrity when it looks at the gold. Or when it looks at lead wanting to make gold. It has no integrity. And as I zoom in on another storm that has no circulation, that is nothing but squares in it, that has just finished from ruining the lives of people in Australia, and it's now headed toward New Zealand, I have to bid good night. Because I have no more to say about this tonight. This is as obvious as it can get that geoengineering is real and that it is impacting the lives of far too many people. And as the rain totals of accumulation show me again in 10 days, another city in Australia facing major floodings, and other places in the world having a geoengineer storms, and they sell geoengineering to eliminate strife, to eliminate droughts. All I see it being used for is bad. All I see it being used for is the filling of the greed and the fulfilling of other people's needs to control you, the free people, humane beings of this planet. Big love. Peace. Remember, you are the solution. And the answer is always we.